Hello YouTube. Hello. And we're back again with another speed lab. This time, it's gonna be Raven. Raven is also another annoying character that I think is pretty damn good. He was way better before the latest patch, like, I think it was like 2 days ago, as of recording of this vid. But I think he's still good, and he can be annoying to deal with, so we're gonna be covering all the Season 2 stuff. Well, hopefully all the Season 2 stuff. I might miss something, but it's fine. It can happen. It can definitely happen. So yeah, let's mention this character. So this character is a very tricky character, because basically all of the stuff that you have to do to get close to Raven is very risky, like because of something like this existing, for example. This Season 1 stuff though, right? This is all Season 1 stuff. Like the Lost Ending 2 is also pretty strong. Like it's hard to get close to the character, usually, and has very strong mix-up to a full crouch as well. But as I said, the Season 1 stuff, not usually, but I'll just cover Season 2 stuff. Mainly the backturn stuff, like, you know, this low, and stuff like that. First, let's start from the normal position before I go to backturn. The latest changes, which are the most important ones, is the QCF 1+2, this move. So Season 2, this was +5, right? +5 move. This forces Raven to crouch, and the Raven does not have a choice in this. Raven will always crouch, so you have to remember that. And this is a +2 now instead of +5. Just forget that it was +5 if you didn't know, whatever. It's +2 now. +2 basically means that something like Lost Ending 2 is not a frame trap anymore. This used to be a frame trap, this used to counter hit you. This also means that something like Lost Ending 4 will not be able to check you no matter what you do. Now you can step these options. So the +2 option, not the option, the +2 frame is pretty damn good. But you still have to be careful about the full crouch mix-ups, like this kind of stuff, right? Even though you might, let's see, predict something like Lost Ending 4, try to sidestep to the right, this will catch you. So sometimes doing like a mini sidestep duck instead, like this kind of option select, will be good. The same with the sidestep left duck, right? It will be pretty decent. Like a sidestep duck option after these moves will be pretty damn good, but also don't forget that Raven will be able to catch a sidestep right with the Lost Ending 1. If I remember correctly, this catches sidestep right. And it's also a mid mix-up because of the mix-up property. Yeah, it does. So if you want to option select this and the low, you have to go left. But then the Lost Ending 4 is gonna catch you. So there are layers to it now, basically is what I want to say. The layers are way more interesting than what it was before. Because in the +5 situation, the Raven player would just Lost Ending 4 and you just couldn't do anything about it. More or less you couldn't do anything about it, unless you had a parry of some sort. You can even power crush it. So now the layers are more interesting, way more interesting. Now we have to guess either this is coming, this is coming, sidestep duck maybe. Some things are gonna catch you, maybe the Raven's gonna delay their timing, whatever, right? Way more interesting interactions with this. But this move is still very strong because it still retains the property of it being 30 damaging wall splat mid, right? And it's a mix-up. Like the Raven player just gonna come in here and mix you up with the full crouch low. Or this move. I really suck at canceling this, there. Either this or the safe low. So it's still a very good move, especially at the wall because the wall splat and does a lot of damage. And it's a very good move for Raven to have. But as I said, the interaction now is a little bit more interesting. It is way more interesting than when it used to be +5. Yeah, that's one change, very important change. The other one, also very important change, is this. So this was a very dumb move. Very dumb. I don't know what they were thinking when they were making it, what's it called? -9, yeah, it was -9. So it was -9 before, but now it's -12. It went back to Season 1 state, basically. So every time you block this, you should be punishing this, because this is a very strong move. One of the things... Batman Necropole. One of the things that Raven players used to do a lot is literally this into this, right? And this used to cover a lot of options, and this used to be safe as well, which is also very dumb. But now they can't do something like this. Still take Propel. Every time you block this, you have to punish it. There's only one exception to this, by the way. It has a lot of range, and sometimes the range is so much, and you can't punish it anymore. Like, this is the one exception. You can't punish it in longer ranges. Right? It just doesn't work. Maybe some characters will always be able to punish it. Maybe King's back 1 that has a lot of range. But someone like us, for example, even his back 1-2 won't reach. So you have to be careful about the reach. Okay, that's about that. Nothing too much to talk about. But this move is still not that bad, especially in heat, because you can just, heat engage into launcher. It's pretty damn good. In heat, it's pretty damn good. Okay, there's that. There's also some frame changes as well. The big ones being the clones. All of the clones, basically, if you see a clone, like this kind of clone, all of them are minus 13 now instead of being minus 14. Nothing like too much to talk about. You just punish with a different punisher. If you had the 14 frame launcher, for example, Brian, you can't do that anymore. Now you have to punish with a 13 frame move. All clones, by the way. I think this one as well. Yep, minus 13. So yeah, all of them. Minus 13 now. That's big. The other big one is also this frame change. This became minus 14. So they removed the countered launching property of this low. This is the stance low. This stance into the 4. But it became minus 14 now. That can become a little bit less minus depending on the range it is. If you want to play super safe when it comes to punishing this, always do a 11 framer like I was saying 4 as a punish. But if they're close up, let's say this, right? If they're close up, it's always minus 14 or at least minus 13. So yeah, that's also big. And there are also other stuff from Soul Zone, but they basically come together with the backturn stuff because they added like teleportation effects, which is this right here. This teleportation. Now let's talk about this one. So this is the hardest thing to deal with, one of the hardest things to deal with whenever a Raven player goes backturned against you, basically, and you're in a mix. And when you're in a mix-up, this kind of teleportation can happen a lot. So in backturn, the Raven has these two new teleportation moves, basically, which is back to 4 teleport. And this high is not duckable, right? This is jailing. This is the jailing high. You can't do anything about this. If you block it, you're gonna be 0 immediately afterwards. And the properties this teleportation has is why this is so hard to deal with. Because after this teleport, Raven has the option to either be normally standing like this, facing forward. Has the option to go backwards just by holding back. Now I'm backturned again, right? Or it also has the option to go full crouch with a full crouch mix-up. We already know Raven has a good full crouch mix-up, right? This is the Mustang 2, for example. Or this into the full crouch Hellsuit, example. So you basically have to... You don't have to guess, but... Kinda you have to guess what the Raven's gonna do. Gonna go full crouch, gonna go backturned. Yeah, what's he gonna do? So it's a very, very tricky to deal with. But there are some options that Raven players usually do. Like the most common one being that they go full crouch, not full crouch, backturned. That's the most common one. They go backturned, they do like 2-2 to check you, they do 1 to check you, or 1-4 to check you. These are his checks. And if you try to do anything, let's say you try to sidestep some of the options, which you can't. Some of the options are steppable. These will always check you. And these are the trickiest one to deal with. For me, 2-2, I love this in Season 1. You can parry the second hit, by the way. I'm basically used to parrying the second hit, but this is hard to pull off. But something like a 1 jab is one of the best things that Raven players can do here. And this is the very, very good to do as a check, because you can't really do much about this. And it's only -1, right? So, yeah. Remember, 2-2 and backturned 1, most common checks here. There's also 3-4, that's also a check, because the 10 frame mid, not mid, high mid. It's a high mid. But usually those 2 options I mentioned first is the most common ones. When it comes to mix-ups, let's say you're not gonna move and the Raven player just wants to mix you up. This new low is their go-to. Basically, when they teleport, they're just gonna do this low. This is the new backturned low, backturned down 2. And this backturned down 2 is -12, +4, and it teleports on hit. So this teleportation has the same property as the other one. All teleportations are the same, by the way. All of them. Like their property of either going backturned, normal, or full crouch, all of them are the same. The frames are slightly different. Like this one is +4 into teleport. Not this one. This one is 0 into teleport if it gets blocked. And this one is also a teleport. I showed this is -1. But the frames are always very, very good. Very, very small frames, and they're very good, and they can check you very, very easily after because they have a 8 frame jab in backturn, right? That's why I said this is one of the best things to do. Because even if you block this, and they go backturn into this jab, your jab will get beaten. It's an 8 frame jab. So, yeah, you have to be careful about this kind of stuff. So, these are the teleports, and this is a low mix-up, I mentioned this, right? This is their main low mix-up. If they want to go for, like, full crouch mix-up, they can also, as I said, go full crouch after this teleport and do a Hellsuit. Which is pretty damn good, right? Either a low-risk option or a high-risk option. 2-4. Oh, this one. This one. Yeah, I almost forgot the 10 frame punish. I almost forgot to mention this yet, thinking Wilson. That's the plus of having a Raven player in chat. So yeah, 2-4 is another one. I completely forgot this was also a teleport. This is a 10 frame punish. And goes to a +8 teleport situation. You basically will be mixed up from either back turned or full crouch. Since it's +8, you can't really do much about it either than guess. It's just how it is. But if you block something, let's say you get hit by this, right? You get hit by this 10 framer, and you block this. After this teleport, now we have a few options. If they go back to them again to try to mix you up more, you have some options. The best options being that after, let's say, right? Let's say you get hit by this and they do this instantly. You have the option to sidestep this to the left, but you have to remember that the high will always track you. So the best option here is this right here. You have the step left duck, which is very dumb. I hope they nerf this because the high should not be tracking here. But you have to step left into a duck if you want to avoid this. And the step left duck, if you do it instantly, you'll be able to avoid some of the lows as well. So one of the best options, this is from me experimenting by the way, I'm not too sure if this is correct or not. But step left duck seems like one of the best options for the teleport situations, unless you're heavy minus. Like, after this, I would not recommend you to step left duck, it really won't work. It just won't work. So, yeah. Oh, you can shadow step, yeah, this wave dash thing as well. Yeah. 2-4 is pretty good. But yeah, for the teleport, that's usually, as I said, it's from my experimentation. Step left duck is one of the best things you do. There's some stuff that will beat you, but the annoying options that will beat. And as I said, if you do a step left duck, the checks are gonna beat you. Like 2-2 is gonna beat you, the 1-4 is also gonna beat you, the 1-1 jab. Those kind of stuff, they will beat you. There's some other options that will beat you, but you just have to experiment with this, right? I did experiment, but I don't remember all the options that will beat you. I'm gonna be honest. I am gonna be honest. Like 4-3, for example, this gets sidestepped. Broad, I know it gets sidestepped. This slide right here gets ducked, but it will track you. I think this will track you well if you sidestep left duck. I'm not quite sure, it might not, but you have to be careful about this kind of stuff, is what I'm saying. Like this 4, for example, will also get sidestepped, so these are good options, definitely. But when the Raven player decides to do some other options, let's say he goes like normal and does a, I don't know, down forward 1 or a tracking move, like, what's the tracking move? Forward 3, right? Like, they have options. They have their options. So you have to be careful. But if you want to avoid the generic this, or, not that, this or the down 2 mix-up, sidestep left duck is one of the best ones. This also avoids something like full crouch this, because the duck is gonna catch it. Even though this is the tracking move, this tracks really well after it. The duck is gonna catch it, you're gonna duck it, if you do it correctly anyway. And the full crouch 1 also gets stepped. This gets stepped to the left because this tracks to the right. Yeah, okay. So that's about that. More or less that's about that. As I said, it's exactly the same with this kind of moves. The only difference is that when you're on hit, you can still do the sidestep left duck, but it's gonna be harder to pull off because you have less frames. The only time you don't do that is after this, because this is too much plus. Plus 8 is way too much. Trust me on this. Way too much. Okay. That's about the teleports. I mentioned some of the standing stuff. Now, Fort 4-2. I forgot to mention this. So Fort 4-2 is a heat engager now. Basically, you can treat this like a Demon Paw. Like a Mishima Demon Paw. Now Raven has it for some whatever reason, right? So Fort 4-2 is a heat engager. That has a lot of reach. It's a Fort 4 move. It's pretty fast. It's 15. Right? Check thing problem. And, yeah, it also, even though it's minus 12, this is a lot of pushback. The main weakness of this move is usually what Demon Paws have as a weakness, is that it's steppable. From what I know, you can step this to the right more easier to the left. But, yeah, that's the main weakness of Fort 4-2, more or less. But it's very strong. As I said, it's very strong because of the range it has. It's not infinite, but it's pretty damn good. The pushback is really good too. Okay, I mentioned the clones, I mentioned the back-turned mix-ups. And also, I'm gonna slightly mention this as well, is that after this Heat Smash, you just have to be aware of this mix-up right here. When a Heat Smash gets blocked, this 4 usually, if the range is good, like this kind of range, will not be able to be punished with a 13 frame punish. If the range is good. So if you want to stay super safe, as I mentioned already, usually it's better to go for a while standing 4 punish than a while standing 1-2 with Kazuya, for example, or someone else like a 13 frame punish. If you want to stay super safe. But yeah, let me see if I remember something else. Is that it? I kind of speed ran through this. Because there wasn't that much to talk about in Season 2, even though all these changes are pretty good. This. Oh, this being a countered launcher. Yeah. This one. Soul Zone 1+2. I mean, this thing, you just deal with it the same way as ever, right? I don't think this changed too much when it comes to its blocks and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's it, mostly. Mostly that's it. That was a pretty short one. That might be one of the most shortest ones I've done in what's it called? In Season 2. And Season 2. So yeah, everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you, YouTube. Hopefully I didn't forget too much. Maybe I did. Most likely I did. I always do forget something. But yeah, thank you once again for watching, and till the next one.